We have today Mehernosh, who is India's first and only Wealth Wisdom Wellness, that's W3 coach and trainer, with a mission to help one discover their path to prosperity through financial fitness, mental fitness, physical fitness, and emotional fitness with the power of neuro linguistic programming. Certified coach from International Coach Federation and an internationally certified trainer of neuro linguistic programming, Mehernosh empowers you to aspire, act, and achieve success in the 3 W's of life: wealth, wisdom, and wellness. Since 2014, as an executive coach, speaker, mentor, and trainer, he has conducted more than 1,000 workshops with more than 100 organizations, trained and coached more than 6,000 people across 18 nationalities, including senior, mid, and junior management. His footprints can be found in top corporate. Over the years, his work has been recognized with a string of coveted awards. Let us know more about what he does from the man himself. Welcome to the show, Mehernosh.
Thank you, Premraj, and my honor to be here on Blooming with the best of the best in the world.
What are the benefits of NLP? How does one apply this in day-to-day life? And if applied properly, what transformations can one expect?
NLP is like a nice flowery term, which we can call it as neuro linguistic programming. What's important is not about what NLP is, but what's important is how we can use it. So I like the second part of your question better. जो है वो है, but how do we actually use it in our life? How do we make the difference in our own life? So basically what NLP talks about is how our programs operate in our own head. And the program I'm talking about, just as right now the Zoom program is operating, Facebook program is operating, all these apps are operating on your devices right now. Within our heads, within our minds, there are a lot of programs which are operating. Now, who has created these programs? It's us. Because there is one very interesting premise of NLP, that our mind is a meaning-making machine. And the same thing, different people may experience, but still each person may give a different meaning to that altogether. So what meanings we are giving it defines our program. Because even right now, as you all are listening to me, as probably Premraj sir is thinking, how much time I'm going to take on this answer and when he can ask me the next question. That is a communication which you are doing within your own self. Okay, some people here are sitting and being curious here. What is this W3 all about? That's even as I'm talking, something is going on in your own head. So when you're communicating with yourself, it is not about, you may not necessarily address that communication to somebody else, but in your own mind, lot of talk is going on. Right now, what I gave you an example is very trivial, very on the spot, in the moment thing. But now imagine if that is the communication that is going on, if there is a communication which is going on in your mind at all times, what are you telling yourself? What stories are you telling yourself? For example, some people say that lockdown ho gaya, now in the lockdown, opportunities are not there, I can't do anything. Whereas there are other people who are saying, oh, lockdown is a brilliant opportunity to learn and grow and bloom. Now that's a different way in which people are communicating to themselves, and that is what makes the difference in the way you think about your own self, in the way you think about other people, in the way you think about the world. Sometimes you say that universe supports me in whatever I do, and somebody says that whatever I do, people don't support. What is peculiar to NLP about goal setting? You may find a lot of goal setting programs out there. Without getting into too much detail, I just want to give you one broad overview of this, that goal setting is done by the conscious mind, but it is the goal getting which is done by the subconscious mind. So the NLP process of goal setting focuses on goal getting, not just setting the goal. How do you motivate and propel your subconscious to become so actively thrilled and excited about achieving that goal?
Is mind mapping also part of this? Mind sharing
Mind,
something on that?
yeah, mind mapping. Even I'm also a certified trainer in mind mapping. Mind mapping is basically a thinking tool. It is not originally part of NLP. NLP was founded by Richard Bandler and John Grinder somewhere in 1975 times, and around the same time, in 1975, another gentleman in UK, Tony Buzan, developed the tool of mind mapping. So equally effective, very powerful. Typically, when we take notes, what do? We write with a typical black or blue pen, right? We write one below the other. Now, our mind loves colors, and what we are giving a single color. That to a conditioned way of working, black or blue. Single color is monotone. And what is monotone is monotonous. And what is monotonous is boring. So mind mapping is actually a visual representation of a visual description of whatever you are thinking. Even if you're making notes, if you can make it with the help of a mind map, it's a very simple tool. I keep this set of pens handy with me on my table at all times. When I'm traveling, I keep it in my bag at all times. Wow, Premiraj, you too. Great. So when you make notes with color, your brain registers more about it. That is just one example of using a mind map. But more powerful example of using a mind map is wherever you are thinking, wherever you want to create more ideas, create it with the help of a mind map. We can even do a masterclass on mind map with, for Bloom. That's an entire different insightful topic itself. But that is based on a simple principle of radiant thinking. When we are making notes the traditional way, we are doing it as linear thinking, one below the other. Radiant thinking is like blooming. I mean, the Bloom logo is radiant, so I can only think of that right now, right? So radiant is everything in nature is radiant. I use a mind map even to present my own profile. Now it is in one snapshot a visual representation of the entire profile, biodata. You can create a profile for Bloom like that. You can create your own personal profile like that. You can create your own professional profile like that. Or even if you're having all the entrepreneurs and businessmen out here, if you're having some services, what is it that you provide? What all areas you are into? You can create a complete mind map of your own self, of your own business, in a field, in a kind of overflow of knowledge and information. Now, what you choose to pick up from them, how do you internalize that and not just intellectualize that, is what wisdom is all about. And the offering that I have under the umbrella of wisdom is NLP. But through techniques like mind mapping, through techniques like NLP, through techniques like a lot of creativity tools like lateral thinking, fixed thinking hacks, all these elements come under the umbrella of wisdom. Anyone here feeling stuck for choices? Anyone feeling at the end of the road? Abhay, I don't know what to do, whether it's because of the lockdown or because of some people around you or because of some relations, whatever is happening. That is where you need wisdom. But if you're not able to climb up 10 floors in that moment, then sorry to say you are not that fit. So on physical fitness, what I work on is to enable my clients to work on their strength, general strength. I'm not here to make you bodybuilders or weightlifting champions, but general physical preparedness. It's called as GPP, general physical preparedness, which include elements like strength, endurance, agility, and flexibility. And today we have been talking a lot about staying safe. Stay home, stay safe. I would like to share with you a full form of SAFE over here. SAFE. Strength, agility, flexibility, and endurance.
Wow.
That is what physical fitness is about. If you are able to tick mark yourself on these 4 parameters, then yes, you are physically fit.
Why isn't this being taught to our children in schools and colleges?
Wow. आपने मेरी दुखती रग पे हाथ डाला. You have touched my pain point, right? In fact, when I learned all these techniques first time, when I learned NLP, when I learned mind mapping for that matter, I'm a chartered accountant and you've seen my degrees and all. Academically done very well. But I didn't know mind mapping at that time. In fact, I saw few friends of mine doing mind mapping out of their own choice. I used to I confess, I used to mentally ridicule them. ये क्या color कर रहा है? They're children हो. Till I realized how mind mapping works. Today, when I teach mind mapping, I first debunk that myth. that mind mapping is not just a colorful presentation. It is much more than that. So, like that, whether it's mind mapping, NLP, emotional fitness, even your money management habits. So, all those are part of the wealth. When we talk about wellness, all the SAFE that I spoke about earlier, all that is part of it, even emotional fitness, even social well being, mental fitness. So, all that is part of all the three W's. And now we create an entire chart that where you are, where you would rate yourself and where you would want to be. And then how do we achieve that balance so that one is not at the cost of the other?
As it is said, being rich is not equal to being wealthy. You also gave that example. Being fit is not equal to being
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah.
Having knowledge is not equal to having wisdom. So even if you think you have the three, you actually don't have these three W's. You may probably
Yeah.
have the other three who are not actually fitting into our three W3s. So
True.
wonderful discussion,